This short video aims at clarifying how the LanguageCert International ESOL B2 level writing section is assessed. Please note that you will find more information about this exam in our related pre-recorded videos or on our website. The writing section of the B2 level International ESOL qualification comprises two tasks, both of them mandatory. The first task requires candidates to respond appropriately to a given text to produce a formal response for an intended public audience. Candidates need to write between 100 and 150 words. The second task asks them to produce a personal letter, a narrative or descriptive composition, and write between 150 and 200 words. You can see two examples here. Regarding the text types, genres to be expected, candidates may be required to write a personal letter or email, an article, balanced or not, a descriptive composition, a narrative composition, story, a report, or a review. Let's now focus on the assessment criteria and how candidates are marked and graded. The assessor uses 4 assessment criteria to evaluate the candidate's written response. The first criterion, task fulfillment, a measure of how the candidate has addressed the task, and whether or not the candidate has done what was asked. The second criterion, accuracy and range of grammar, a measure of the range, appropriacy, and accuracy of grammar. The third criterion, accuracy and range of vocabulary, a measure of the range, accuracy, and appropriacy of vocabulary, as well as spelling accuracy. Finally, the last criterion, organization, a measure of how coherently ideas are linked together in a text and how accurate the punctuation is. Candidates are awarded a maximum of 3 marks per criterion, 3 being the best score and 0 being the lowest. The maximum score candidates can get is 12 marks per writing task. On the right, you can see the mark scheme that the assessor will use to evaluate the candidate's response. Here you can see where to find the assessment mark scheme. You will find it in the Assessing Writing Performance Handbook, which is on our website. Actually, in this handbook, you will find not only the mark scheme for all levels, but also clarifications about the writing exam, sample scripts, and how they have been marked by our assessors, and more. What about marking and grading now? When do candidates get a pass, a high pass, or a fail? In the table here, you can see a summary of the maximum raw and scaled scores candidates can get per skill assessed. Please focus on the writing component first of all. As candidates can collect up to 12 marks per writing task, and as candidates are required to do both writing tasks, they can collect a maximum of 24 marks. This raw score out of 24 is then converted to a scaled score out of 50. Regarding the writing component, please note that there are no thresholds or limitations, that is, there is no minimum score to be attained. However, as in the case of the listening and reading components, in order to be successful, candidates need to attain an overall scaled score of at least 50%. Remember, the pass mark for the written exam, which consists of the listening, reading, and writing components, is 50% overall in all sections. As far as grading is concerned now, candidates are awarded a high pass if they attain a score of 101 to 150 out of 150, a pass if they attain a score between 75 and 100 out of 150, a fail if they do not attain a score of at least 75 out of 150. And now a sample of a B2 level script and how it has been marked. On the right, you can see the assessment criteria and how many marks are awarded per criterion. You will also find a few assessors' comments next to each mark.